There's a final doctrine that controls you in this room as residents of Boulder County and your municipality, and it's called corporate rights. Corporations today have constitutional rights in the United States. They've been carefully bestowed upon corporations over the past 150 years. Corporations today have the same rights and powers for the most part that you do as a human being. They have First Amendment rights, which allowed them recently, relatively recently, in the Citizens United case, to overturn campaign finance law instituted and implemented by Congress, by federal law, holding that campaign finance laws violate corporate free speech rights under the First Amendment because corporations are persons under the law. Corporations also have Fifth Amendment rights, which prevent you from interfering with their property. Because if you interfere with corporate property within Boulder County, you owe them money for the value of the property that you've interfered with. Because the Fifth Amendment is about paying them just compensation for whatever property has been taken from them. So what does all this have to do with you? Well, you've run into these doctrines, even if you don't know it, because when communities are sued by corporations, when they go outside this box that's been carefully built for them, and they ban oil and gas extraction, for example, the first thing that happens is an oil and gas corporation files suit against your community. And they file suit against your community using those three legal doctrines. First, they say you're preempted because the state has preempted you. Second, they say you have no authority to pass what you passed in the first place because of Dillon's rule. You've never been given the authority by the state legislature to pass that in the first place. And third, you violated our corporate constitutional rights because we have a permit to drill in your community and your local law prohibits us from exercising our permit rights, which is property under the law. And you owe us not just for the value of that permit, but for future value of the permit. In other words, the amount of the oil and gas that you've prohibited us from taking out of the ground. Legally, they have the power to hold your municipality liable for the value of the oil and gas that you've prevented them from taking, right? That is the law. That is the law. And parts of it have been very carefully concocted over the past 150 years to lay different sections down to further insulate you and divest you from having any kind of democratic authority in your community to make these kinds of decisions.